Well, what a glittering assemblage. Mark Sargent, those in the live chat, those watching it at a later date, and how quaint, even the trolls. Welcome to Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. I'm Flat Maleficent, and Mark Sargent joins me.
Wow. Okay. So this changed. This is not.
Explain to everybody how it changed. And by the way, Robbie Davidson is joining us from Celebrate Truth. So yes, I am Maleficent. I'm not the devil or anything satanic. It's a Disney character.
Because saying that's going to make it better.
And we know Disney, we know the issues with Disney, but Maleficent as a character in the recent Angelina Jolie version is a bad person who curses a baby. Who wants that? But then later she learns about true love. So I'm playing the good Maleficent.
Wow.
Tell everyone how
I am stunned here, and here's the reason why. In fact, let me kill off my my Skype real quick so I can. 1 second. Okay, so you buzzed me the other night and says, "Oh, I stopped at the store and got a little makeshift costume, which seemed, I think it was going to be a Little Mermaid type thing."
I tricked you.
Yeah, that was a fake?
Yes.
So you bought the rainbow clamshell thing as a fake?
Yeah, I bought a purple bikini top and some clamshell thing, and then messaged Mark and showed him on a live Skype chat with camera that this is going to be my costume. I'm going to be the Little Mermaid. And then, of course, I just surprised you right now with this one.
I am impressed. I didn't tell anybody about the Little Mermaid thing, so
I don't know if I'd be a very good Little Mermaid because I'm almost 56 years old. So
oh, I think you would have been awesome.
Little Mermaid's grandmother. Anyway,
but this is great. That's
Maleficent awesome. Is a timeless character.
Where did you pick up the headpiece for this?
It was all purchased at a costume shop, and this thing I'm wearing is very puzzling to put it on. Literally, you don't even know how to put it on. It seems simple, but it's not. Anyway, so this is Flatoween. We did it in 2015, and we're doing it again in 2018. It's a lighthearted look at Halloween, even if you don't celebrate Halloween now because of the implications, people consider it to be satanic, etc. I'm doing it anyway because of childhood. When I was a child, I used to wear Halloween costumes and trick or treat door to door, and I had a wonderful time. It wasn't about anything bad or anything evil, and I understand how people feel that it is, but that's not what this show is about. This is about having fun. It's the secret show, and that's the whole thing with this. Okay, so let's move on to having fun at the conference in Denver. And Robbie Davidson of the channel Celebrate Truth is here. Hello, welcome to the world of Maleficent. And Mark Sargent, who looks like a mad scientist.
Mad scientist. This is just so you know, this is a Mandarin cut lab coat, which is taken directly from, in fact, I include a shot of this in my clues, Flat Earth Clues 13, 14, the code of credibility.
That's the kind of lab coat I think they would wear in an old English novel with a bunch of beakers, right? Glowing beakers.
Yes, I think they did surgery in outfits like this at the turn of the century.
And I also think they butchered animals in it too. It looks like one of those butcher's coats.
I like these. I like the Mandarin cut better than the standard lab coats because it doesn't have that thing down the middle. You don't have anything to really catch yourself on, so the blood can hit you straight on, I think.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, the reason, so your costume was more theatrical. Mine is more convenient because this is what I am going to be wearing when I do my segment at the second morning of the conference.
Wonderful.
So I'm going to be wearing the code of credibility, and I know that a whole bunch of other people are going to be wearing their codes of credibility. So I'll be looking forward to it, and hopefully I don't overheat because this thing's a little bit warm, but that's fine.
Well, the conference is coming up. The link in the description box if you haven't already got your tickets. There are so many exciting things that have been happening in the past couple of weeks that are leading up to the conference. Some of them are happening due to the conference, and some are happening accidentally, like happy accidents, that as we head toward the conference. We had Bob on CBS recently, several flat earthers, including myself, on CBS recently. Yes, of course, it's mainstream, and we know that they say stupid things like a flying disc in space. We can't control that. We're never asked, but so many other great things. There was Mad Mike on Tosh 2.0, right. And it's just one thing and another and another, and it's creating a lot of positive energy surrounding the conference. And well, we've asked Robbie D to come on to talk a little bit about what's happening. Hey, Robbie, thanks for coming on.
Well, thanks for having me on. It's great to see both of you. And I was on with Mark last night, but this is a change of pace for Mark. He's in white and you're in black.
Yes, exactly.
So it's interesting. I like the contrast. So it's all great. But yeah, there's been so much happening. I don't know where to begin. I mean, today was just continual interviews, press, media. It's just building up. The excitement is building, not just with the world and the press, but also with the community. People are posting on Facebook and they're getting excited. And even in the chat room right now, a lot of people are counting down the days, such as I am. I'm looking at it right now and it's 14 days. That's like tomorrow for me. So yeah, it's going to be an incredible time for sure.
I'm excited. And I remember months back when it seemed as if Denver would never get here, that we wouldn't be basically in the month of November. And then, of course, we had something to look forward to. We had the conference in Canada to look forward to. But we were looking forward to Canada, but it was almost like Denver was this, dangling jewel in the future where so many people were going to go. And we were so excited. And wow, it's basically almost here.
It is. It really is here. That's for sure. And like I said, the lineup is amazing. It's been completely updated now. So if you're not familiar, go to fe2018.com. Check the schedule. All the workshop presentation stage presenters are all posted there now. And we've got the activities for the day before the conference on Wednesday. We're going to be doing the Billboard meetup at 3 p.m. So if you're interested in coming out, if you've seen last year us meeting at the Billboard in Raleigh, this one's going to be even bigger because I think a lot more people know of it, well in advance. Because I think last year most people weren't even, weren't even aware that was going on till short notice. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We've got really exciting VIP speaker mixer reception happening. Early registration is happening on Wednesday. I would advise you, if you're coming in early, get registered because the Thursday morning, it's going to be chaos and it could be very long lines. We're going to try our best to get everyone through as quick as we can, but we do have early registration at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, and that is November the 14th.
All right. Well, everyone has been made very well aware of it. So if you miss it, then it's all on you. So there's big news, but we really can't completely talk about the big news. In fact, Mark and I don't know the whole truth of the big news. Only you do, Robbie. But you've teased it on your Facebook a little bit, and you were on Mark's Strange World last night on Truth Frequency Radio. Can you, tease us a little bit more about the big news that's happening?
I was telling my wife last night, it's hilarious too, because everyone's calling me and come on, give me a hint. I won't tell anyone. Jaron, I was talking to Jaron today and he's like, oh, I hate this, and I realized that because I'd be the same way. Everyone has this desire to know and I wish I could share it. But like I said, I've been sworn to secrecy. They want to release the information. All I can say is it's huge. I mean, I was in disbelief until it was all confirmed with their assistant. And like I said, I'm still amazed. And their entourage that they're bringing is getting bigger and bigger each day. They're adding more and more. So it could be a very large crew coming for sure. And the most exciting part about it is they're not coming to do a hit piece or make fun of anything. They've been looking into it for a while, and they want to get really into learning about the community and also learning a lot more, going a lot deeper. Excuse me. So it's kind of like their coming out announcement will be the conference.
That's amazing. I've toyed in my mind with who it could be. Is it a musical group? Is it an actor or actress? Is it a politician? Is it somebody who does a talk show? Is it,
is it Donald Trump?
Yeah, that's never going to happen. And even if it did, it wouldn't matter because, they're selected, not elected. So, I know you can't tell us. And I know a lot of people have been making guesses. I would imagine one of the thousands of people have been right about it. But the thing is that from what you've said, it's nobody that we've heard talk about flat Earth
That's
already.
my clue, and that's my clue because that will help people, I guess, a little more because everyone's kind of taken the suspects as far as Bob or Eddie Bravo because again, there's some breadcrumbs there. There's some sort of history that we've seen some sort of connection, whether it's an interview, whether it's an interest, they posted something, they interviewed someone, and what I can say is this is completely out of the blue. No one has a clue. Anyone in the community, and like I said, that's why I was really in disbelief when it came about.
Two quick questions, and I know I told Patricia I said I was not going to dig into this, but this is kind of relevant to the conference at large, and that is, if somebody gets a VIP pass, will they get a chance to meet whoever this person is?
Absolutely. 100%, because I'm giving the full VIP treatment, and that was part of their request. Is they really wanted to get to know, have the time to spend with speakers and the community, and also in that atmosphere. I would imagine that even outside of that, they'll be able to actually meet, but you'll have a lot more time in the VIP.
Well, you have a
setting,
better
for sure.
chance. I mean, come
Well,
on.
yeah, sure. You have a better chance. I'll say that.
Better
But
chance.
again, I don't think they're coming to, oh, I'm not talking to anyone. We're
No.
better than
I
anyone.
didn't say that, but you
Yeah.
know how that goes. I
do.
mean,
It's going to be crazy.
If that's the case, and I imagine this morning maybe 20 left, maybe
22 last count.
22. And I'm only encouraging people, look, if you haven't decided you're going to go to this thing, I got a funny feeling when this mystery person is announced, those VIP tickets are going to be snapped up super, super fast.
Probably. And the interesting thing is the announcement will be made probably the day beforehand.
Right.
So again, and they're choosing to do it for various reasons. But again, I'm excited about it because they're going to be documenting the entire journey to the actual conference.
Wow.
Amazing. And I know that there's always naysayers that have said, oh, Robbie's just saying this to hype up ticket sales. There really isn't anybody special that's coming. Robbie?
No, not at all. I would never, I definitely try my best to be a man of my word. I would never, ever say an announcement like that to drum up more sales or create frenzy. Again, there's a lot of like for me personally, and this was at the very beginning before Raleigh, a lot of people accused me of a lot of things. Said I was a scam artist. I was going to rob people. The conference would never happen. And Raleigh happened. Canada happened. If I say that I'm going to do something, I follow through in the same way that if I say something like that, I would never tease the community and say, psych, just joking. Of course, it's for real. And like I said, I've had multiple talks with their assistant, and also I have a call coming up soon with them themselves. So it definitely is real, and I'm excited because I was excited before this announcement, just with all the hype and all the excitement. And again, there's some amazing people, like for example, like Dawson, Dawson's brother coming, most likely. That's also very exciting. I mean, that's an amazing thing, the stuff that he's putting out. So there's other people that will be there that are exciting. This one just really takes it right over the top.
Right. And I didn't doubt it really for a second, mostly because, you and I and Patricia and others have talked about, other A-listers that are, hanging around on the peripherals. So,
and some we've actually met in person.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay. In fact, I'm going to be making a call after the show and seeing if I can find out anything. And I doubt if I can, but I'm going to take a shot because why the heck not?
I know. I feel bad that I can't even tell because I know that.
No, I know.
When it comes to the inner core, it's just for me. Honestly, they came to me and they said, "Look, this is really important. They're going to follow through. They've been very gracious. We've had some really good talks, and I just said, you know what? Like, I'll do this because again, they want to be the one to release it. Because once it gets out, they just won't have that chance to do that anymore. There'll be no shock value.
And yeah, and exclusive rights are very, very important when it comes, or first rights, first dibs when it comes to anybody in the media. Daniel and Caroline from Behind the Curve would tell you that.
This will be a first. This will be a first of someone just out of the blue popping up with a massive following. Like we're talking in the millions of fans, just popping up and saying, "Hey, I'm looking into this. Laugh all you want, but we're coming to learn, and we're coming to learn more about the community." And they're planning to do things else. Like what I can say is they do have plans to do some projects in LA afterwards, and that will be another discussion. I talked to Jaron today, and I said, it'd be a good idea. I'll talk to you, Mark, and other people if you're willing to, fly there and be part of that project. But they did request, certain names for the project after the conference. So they definitely, it's not just a one-time event.
That's awesome. And again, I shouldn't blame Kyrie for this, but I'm going to give him a whole bunch of credit in this case because he stood his ground. even when he didn't retract anything. He just said he was sorry to the science teachers that had been suffering over the last calendar year. And look, he was not a fluke. He's about as A-list as they get in the sports world. And he said, no, sure. I'm absolutely into this and I'm not going to back down. And it's got to be tough for him because everybody that interviews him brings it up every single time. I mean, hopefully not every single game, but his season has already started. So I'm sure that's back into the swing of things. Anyway, I'm super excited about it. I know Patricia is, but we won't, if by some chance we stumble upon it, we're not going to say anything.
Sure, and that's fine. If you can stumble upon it, I think you're going to have a hard time with it, but go ahead and try. I mean, I definitely encourage you. Oh, I'm not putting anything past you, Mark.
So sure.
I'm not. But whisper it to me for sure, and we'll see. Because if you come up with it in your own ways, that's one thing. But anyways, it's not much longer. They will be announcing it. It's going to be exciting, and again, I think it's going to be fun to be able to meet and just the attention that's going to be on it. But even before that announcement, the media and the press that are coming is unbelievable. Not just to mention the international press, but local, but even, United States media, they're coming in from all over, from different states, many states actually. So it's not just Denver that's covering this thing. Yeah. So it's going to be really exciting. And I know that Rob, because Skiba is, he's kicking it off after I give my introduction and Rick comes on. So he knows what's at stake and he was ready in Canada and he kind of saw what was there. So he's not going to come out blasting, but he's preparing something that's so profound and so amazing, and he's going to do it in such a great way that Rob Skiba does. But he's also aware that all the cameras are there, and this is kind of your first impression almost, right? So he's really going to come out and really kind of set things right, and I'm really excited. I'm going to actually be on with Rob Skiba later tonight on TFR, so we're going to be talking about my new book and also the conference. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We have a great time when we do the shows.
One thing about you, Robbie, you're a man of your word, and it has shown itself to be true through the kind of firestorm of criticism that happened prior to the Raleigh conference. It happened as you said it would. And then, of course, what happened in Canada was fantastic. And then this will go through perfectly as well. And the fact that you are not revealing the people's name or person's name, the surprise guest, is also...
I'm tempted. Trust me. I'm not going to say I'm not tempted. I really want to scream it from the rooftop. So just to be honest, I'm human. But yeah, I am going to keep it confidential. But trust me, I'm tempted. I'm tempted to tell someone. Good thing I have my wife. I could tell her and then we can keep it between both of us. But yeah, it's very exciting.
You're a man of your word. I mean, that's the bottom line on all of this. And I noticed that you've got a YouTube play button behind you. So
yes. Well, they're very, very exciting getting that. And also, I mean, I'm close to 120,000 subscribers. So hopefully I can hit the 120,000 mark before the conference. That's my goal. So I'm just over 119 and I really would love to be able to hit the 120 because I hit the 100 before the Canadian conference. So I'm seeing if I can hit the 120 before the USA conference.
Well, if you're not subscribed to Celebrate Truth, the link to Ravi's channel is in the description box. So let's help him get that goal. Give it a subscribe. And, subscribing to your favorite channels, whether or not they've got a lot of subs or no subs, it's just a nod of support. That's really what it's all about. And we know that you can be a very credible flat earther or truth seeker and have one subscriber or none and just be starting your channel. But it is nice to help your fellow truth seekers by giving them that thumbs up in the form of a subscribe. So I truly recommend it.
Yeah, and I think it's important when I do interviews like this, I like to, let people know because there's lots of rumors out there about me and say, well, he's a Christian and he's trying to slant it this way. Understand that if you know some really good Muslims doing flat earth and the Quran and they're coming out with many videos or whatever they're doing, they're working well with the rest of the community. I'm willing to entertain that. Absolutely. Just reach out to me. That's the biggest thing that I get all the time. It's just like, well, how come it's this and how come it's that? If you reach out to me, you'll have a chance to be on there. I've talked to many people that definitely do not have Christian beliefs. So yes, I'm a Christian, but I'm putting on a conference for all. And over time, there's going to be more to pick and choose from. And there's going to be a variety, just like the flat earth community has all sorts of varying beliefs, but we come together in the commonality when it comes to that we're not a spinning ball flying through space. And that's what we all agree on. And I always stress the importance of that. So there's huge potential in that. So don't hear these stories about, well, he's a Christian, he would never allow this person on stage or this. I just want to get to know you. And also, if you're doing wonderful things in the community, absolutely, there will be a place for you for sure. Because I'm looking at people that look at the big picture and I can differ with them. I can disagree with them. But if I see them getting along with the community, not putting hit pieces out every other day, you know what? We're going to get along. But if you're the type of person, no matter what you're doing, even if you're doing good stuff in the community, and yet you're railing on most of the people that are also at the conference, your chances are slim. I would suggest that you start your own conference, and hey, I'll support it myself, because I think more conferences, more diversity in the community is a good thing.
Agree totally. Mad Mike's been in the news. He was on Tosh 2.0. If anyone had a chance to catch that, will he be at the conference in Denver? I've heard rumors about this.
Yes, it's looking like he actually is going to be there. I believe that he's going to be bringing his car with his rocket. Now, unfortunately, I've already got provisions with the vehicle request form for the convention center. I looked into it. They don't have a rocket request form. So I don't believe the rocket will be able to come in. I asked about it, and they said, "I'm sorry, we don't have rocket request forms, but we do allow vehicles, not rockets." So we're going to have, I know Chris Pontius with Flat Earth Models. He's got an incredible display exhibition area set up, and part of it will be this vehicle that he's doing up. And if you thought the motorcycle in Raleigh was amazing, this is going to blow you away. It's probably one of his greatest pieces that he said he's ever worked on as far as artistry. So we will have that in as far as his display. He'll have Flat Earth Models on hand. But as far as Mad Mike is concerned, yes, he's going to be there. He is, hopefully will be able to park his rocket, his vehicle, somewhere outside close to the convention center, because I'm sure that will grab a lot of media attention. And yeah, I think Mike has heard a lot of things, and there's been things that have gone on, and he really wants to just get to know everyone and judge for himself. But I told him, as the conference organizer, I respect what he's done, his bravery as being a stuntman, and just putting Flat Earth in the media's eye. Also being able to educate people that his last jump or his stunt had nothing to do with proving the curvature of the Earth. It was just setting a record, which he did. He survived, which is an amazing thing. He does have plans to go a lot higher, but I think it's going to take a long time. So I don't think we have to be worried about his life for many years. I know that was a big concern, and maybe he looked at that we were being critical or negative on what he was trying to do. But I know myself personally, I mentioned to him, I said, even I was incredibly concerned, and I was very skeptical. But dude, you pulled it off. And so far, I got to know him very well. Just a week and a half ago, we had a 2-hour conversation, and Mike is just an amazing man. He's a very genuine, transparent guy, and I think he's going to have a great time at the conference. I think the community is going to embrace him. He's going to feel that love, and I think that there's going to be a lot of beautiful things moving forward with Mad Mike Hughes.
All anybody really wants is love, to be honest. People want to be acknowledged, people want to be noticed, and people want to be included. And perhaps because some people were a bit worried about his safety when he was doing the rocket launch. And then, of course, there were lots and lots of delays, and people were thinking, well, maybe it's not even going to happen. And then there were these other people who were creating rumors that it was never going to happen and that it was a big scam, kind of like people accused you of doing a scam, Robbie. People make all sorts of false accusations. There was a lot of confusion surrounding Mad Mike, where in the end, he is, as advertised, a stuntman who wanted to draw attention to Flat Earth while also doing what he does anyway, which is stunts. So the community, of course, will embrace him and will be happy to learn that he's not entangled with negative forces. So that's always, even if I'm dressed like this, saying don't be entangled with negative forces. Remember, this is a Halloween costume.
It's Halloween. Yes, I understand. You're in costume. It's just pretend. I understand. Yes.
Yep. Costume. Yep.
Right.
Yeah. I wouldn't suggest, wearing that for future episodes of, Flat Earth and Hot Potatoes. It might be seemed a little bit,
Yes, exactly.
It's like, what? The truth is there, but yeah, no, I know.
Well, people will say the truth is there about me if I was wearing a frilly pink dress. I mean, you know how
you wear it well. Though. You wear it well. It's convincing. I could see you in a movie, though. You're very convincing for sure. Like, you look authentic.
Well,
I'll give you that.
Did your daughter see Maleficent or just the whole Sleeping Beauty Disney movie?
No, she hasn't.
Okay, well, you know of the story. I mean, I grew up with the original Sleeping Beauty, and the character always scared me. But then again, she had a green face, and this character in the recent Disney movie, they spun it so that she learned about forgiveness and love and good at the very end. So
it is strange, though, with Disney, and I'm not going to be anti-Disney completely here, but what I'm going to say is Disney really doesn't like moms. They all die. They don't exist. It's really strange with his family units, because when you start looking at Disney movies, there's very few that the mothers are involved. It's either wicked stepmothers, it's the mothers are dead. It's very, very intriguing for family shows, for children. What they grow up watching is, look, I can excel and I can exceed in life, and I don't need a mom. There's some pretty hidden, meanings in Disney. And I mean,
yes,
we know that there's hidden agenda in all media, but I find it very fascinating for children, for a family show. They never show two parents.
Even in Maleficent, the princess, the beautiful blonde young girl, the princess, her mother dies. I mean, It's
it's like go through it, Nemo, go through. And again, what's really intriguing is most times it's a father that's the role model.
yes.
Look at Little Mermaid, look at Nemo, look at all of the different things. I mean, Lion King, all these things are accounted by the fathers. But again, it's one thing if they want to show the father as kind of the rearer, but the moms are non-existent. They're dead. They've ran away. They've abandoned their kids.
Even
They're
in
orphans.
Bambi, wasn't
Yep. Yes,
Bambi
she's
killed too?
killed. The mom's killed right at the beginning of the show. Moms are taken out very quick in all Disney movies. If you take the whole list of, say, 50 Disney movies, you might find 3 or 4 that have mothers through the whole movie, and try to find one that has mom and dad through the whole movie. Almost incredibly, non-existent. It's really fascinating when you go deeper into Disney, not just the satanic and subliminals. When you go into this whole, what's this deal with moms? They all die. They're all wicked stepmothers, or they just never were around. They just abandoned their kids.
Right. And the Maleficent character follows along that line perfectly, but she does sort of parent from the side. Even after she's cursed the princess, she realizes what she's done is wrong and tries to remove the curse. And her kiss at the very end is the kiss of true love, and then wakes the princess up. So
Look
I
into
guess
it afterwards. Look into it afterwards. Look up the list. Just type in Disney movies without mothers, and you will be incredibly profoundly surprised when you see how long that list is. It's almost every movie, all those dear movies, Cinderella, I mean, just everyone, Snow White, just run the gamut, and you're going to find out moms were never around.
there's something going on, a huge agenda, and also even just the Disney logo. I mean, we could go on and on.
Sure.
Anyway,
We'll do a Disney show. We'll do a Disney show someday.
yeah, probably that would probably take up a long time, and it does make me sad, because when I was a little girl, I didn't know about any of these things, and I loved Cinderella. I mean, what little girl back in the day doesn't love Cinderella? And there we go. There's a lot of agenda with that too, and yeah. Oh well, childhood dreams shattered. All of the things that we've been told have mostly turned out to be lies.
Exactly. Our whole worldview, the thing that we're standing on, is a lie. I mean, it's pretty profound when you really realize that everything that you thought to be true was not at all. To me, that's the most startling thing about this entire investigation, especially when you come to the granddaddy of them all, that Earth is even a lie. I mean, you can't really get any bigger of a lie than that. So I'm always amazed at the fact of how it trickles down. I always explain that flat Earth is kind of like the umbrella lie that all the other lies sit under. When you get someone, doubting their very existence and then minimizing their value and significance, I mean, you can mold them into whatever you want.
Well said. Well, thank you for coming on.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And for everyone, if you can't get to the conference, check out the live stream. If you go to fe2018.com, you can check out the live stream. We're doing something different for Denver. We are going to be streaming on YouTube on the Flat Earth International Conference channel about 80% of the conference. Fortunately, the debate won't be listed there and a few other sessions. But the paid live stream, we're going to have the entire 2 days, all the sessions, but we're also going to have exclusive interviews behind the scenes and a lot more. And it's a great way to help support the conference and what's going on. There's going to be a lot of people assisting and putting this together, and really appreciate all your support. But again, we will be streaming it for free, about 85% of it. I want to at least be able to do that much. And of course, right afterwards, it will probably be all over the internet anyways. So just telling you right now, check out fe2018.com/live stream, and you'll find all the information for the live stream. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful show, and thanks everyone. And we're going to see you in 14 days, 16 hours, 34 minutes, and 36
seconds. Exactly.
Wow. I got lots of work to do to pull this off. So
yeah, no sleep till flat Earth.
No sleep the night before, for sure. And nobody teased me on that, because I said this to Mark last night, that if someone paid me $10,000 to sleep for 3 hours the night before any conference I put on, I wouldn't be able to take their money. I just cannot sleep the night before, but there's too much going on, and it's exciting for me. And I just want to put on an amazing event for the community, for the speakers. I want people to feel proud about it and do the community, right, as far as the presentation and how we're presented to the world. So I'm excited. It's going to be great to see everyone in just 14 days. So thank you so much.
Bye, Robbie.
Bye, Robbie.
Robbie Davidson, link in the description box to subscribe to his channel, like I said, because we're going to try to get his subscription up, and share it with friends if you want. Also, like I said, there's a link in the description box for the Flat Earth Conference if you have not yet purchased your tickets. There are so many things that are going on. You can go on the website and you can find out for yourself, but the registration is on the 16th, which It's coming up soon, between 7 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. And then after that, we've got a countdown with George Moss. And then we've got the kickoff at 8:30 a.m. with Rick Hummer and Robbie Davidson. He mentioned that a moment ago. And then we've got Testing the Globe, a satiric investigation with Rob Skiba on the main stage. And then Nathan Thompson is on, and he's going to give us the facts that are hard to ignore about the flat earth, and also mix in the Bible too. Flat Earth in the Mood with Dave Marsh and Richard Hopkins at 10:45 in the morning till 11:30 in the morning. And then Karen B. Endicott on stage at 11:45 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. on the first day of the conference, doing a presentation on flat earth and our hidden potential. We've got Noxie and Paul on the Plane, because they do that show together on TFR. They'll be talking about gravity, 11:45 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. Then we do a little lunch break, and then Globebusters Live is on with Ira Landucci and Jaron Campanella and Bob Nodell, and that's going to be after lunch at around 1:30 on the very first day. Then Biblical Cosmology with the one and only Zen Garcia between 2:30 and 3:15 p.m. And then Flat Earth Activism with Joshua Swift, otherwise known as Authentic Intent, and Flat Earth with Daryl Marble, talking about physics and conflicts and the assumptions of the heliocentric model. That's 3:30 until 4:15 p.m. on the first day. Then Women in Flat Earth, the Flat Earth panel, that's at 3:30 till 4:15. Sadly enough, dueling events, which is going to be the Daryl Marble event, and then this Women in Flat Earth event with Cami and myself and Karen. So I'm expecting, since Daryl is like so popular, that there will be nobody to watch Cammy and Karen and I, but whatever. We might end up sneaking over to watch D Marble.
You never know.
We've got Flat Earth and the Scientific Method with Dave Murphy, who's going to be doing a presentation between 4:30 and 5:30 on the first day, a dinner break between 5:30 and 7, and then on the main stage, ding, 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 between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. after the dinner break, it's Rob Skiba versus Syngenis, and they're going to talk about the Bible, heliocentric, geocentric, circle, sphere, and that is going to be a very interesting event. And that is just the first day. So if you want more information, go to the website, link in the description box, and you can find out what's happening on the second day. And Mark, you and I close out the second day with the Flatty Awards. And this channel is the one who picked the categories and the nominations. So you'll get to see who actually won on the second day.
Yeah, that should be a lot of fun. I think it's 7 to 9 on the second day. Yeah,
I think something like that. Yeah,
something like that. So, in fact, we are following the singing debut of the Flat Earth Man.
Oh my gosh, that is correct.
He's on stage for an hour before we even get here. He's our warm up, basically.
That's nice to have a warm up band for the Flatty Awards.
And then we do our thing and hand out trophies and see who's there and who's not. There is one person, I'm not going to mention him, who I actually hope shows up, kind of a celebrity in his own right, who's going to win an award.
Well, it was just alluded to a couple of moments ago when Robbie was on. Maybe we should mention it. As a possibility. It's not really a secret, is it?
Which one?
The celebrity you're speaking of.
What? No. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm talking about a different one than that.
Oh, whoa.
No. I know. Yeah.
I'm talking about Jared Yaw.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Jared Yaw.
Brother.
Yes. And his brother, well-known YouTube titan Shane from the channel Shane, otherwise known as Shane Dawson. And Jared is, I think, going to be there.
Yes.
With his camera guy and shooting some stuff.
And if you haven't seen the video that he did, that was a documentary, a YouTube documentary, I will link it in the description box, but it is on his channel called Let's Mind Travel. So it's Let's Mind Travel. And it's got a picture of him. He's got a beard. And we had a great time with him and all the other flat earthers at the Flat Earth meetup in Pasadena, right?
Right.
And he came to the meetup and he went out to eat with us several times. We happened to just only eat Mexican food on that trip.
That was a weird trip, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, we did a lot of stuff during that trip. We never really had a break in the action, but it was well worth it.
Yes. And Aaron Kreshock's in the video.
Lucy Lemon
in the video. DITRH. Caroline FEAZ.
Nathan Gonzalez.
I mean, on and on. Tons of people. So it's a really fun watch. And like I said, I'll link it in the description box. Yeah. So let me go in the live chat and see who's here.
There's a lot of people there.
Oh, yeah. Hello, everyone. Well, I hope everybody is cool with my costume.
So are those horns inflatable or are they just rubber?
They're
Latex.
I don't know. They're some stuffed material.
Oh, okay. So it's not okay, got it.
Yes.
They're not actual horns.
No, of course not. They're not growing out of my head anyway.
That would be silly.
Yes, that would be crazy.
Right.
The costume in general may get a lot of backlash from people saying she dressed up like Satan, but those of us who know that I didn't. And if
honey,
people want to say what they want to say, they can say it. I don't care.
Honey, let me tell you something.
Yes.
This particular video is going to be screenshotted so many times.
I'll do a screenshot for them right now. Hi.
No. Do like, that's good too. Can you do a scary face?
Like with green stuff coming out of my hands.
There you go. Put like claws out. Like
yeah. I actually painted my nails the way that the character Maleficent has.
I can't see your nails.
I'll show you. I usually have like a nude nail polish on, which I do have.
Oh.
But I put red on the underside.
Oh, wow.
Which she has as well.
I have never seen anyone. Is that a thing? Do people sometimes?
I don't know. I asked somebody that about it. Is this in? Because I have the film and I've watched part of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, no problem. So I'm not sure. But for some reason, the Maleficent character has it in the movie sometimes and then sometimes not. But the Maleficent character, played by Angelina Jolie, wears different outfits. So just like a regular person, even if she's a fairy, not a person, we wear different things sometimes. So there you go.
Well, the way you're done up, you could absolutely work the Disney park without question.
Well, right now I have my front porch lights turned off. I have candy and things to give. Of course, it's nice candy. It's candy from Whole Foods, vegan.
Did you get kids last year?
Yeah, well, there's quite a few.
Huh.
But I turned my porch lights off now because, where I am now in Houston, Texas, it's 6:33 p.m. So sometimes there are early trick-or-treaters, and I don't want trick-or-treating to happen while we're doing a show. So I turned off the porch lights and the garage lights. So I might miss out on some of the kids, but I have candy. And I mentioned Caroline Feaz Chick, who was in the Jared Yaw Let's Mind Travel video we spoke of. She came up with a really cool idea. And it's one of those ideas that some people might think is great and other people might think it's not great. So I'm going to tell you about it and then we're going to see what people think. Now, I personally thought it was great.
What?
She decided that she was going to put little stickery things on Halloween candy to give to the children tonight.
That's a good idea.
And some of the things say, our world is not what we've been told. Google flat earth clues. That's one of the little sticky things that'll be on candy. And another one will be, can you believe it's 2018 and people still believe we are on a spinning water ball flying through infinite space? Google DITRH and Flat Earth Podcast. So
and 1 in 20 say stab your parents.
Yeah. 1 in 20 say dentists do not approve of this candy. I remember trick-or-treating and having so much fun. This was back, I was born in 63, so I was trick-or-treating in the 60s and into the 70s a bit. And it was a much more innocent time. We did hear rumors of, razor blades and apples, which I think is a complete lie. That never happened. But nobody really gave out apples. The only homemade candy I remember were popcorn balls. My mother made me throw them away. It seemed weird anyway. But, we got this little mini Milky Ways and, the usual thing, the usual candies, nice candies. And my mom gave out full-size candies. So my mom always had to be different or more deluxe than anybody else's mom. But anyway, and I remember the fun of going with my sister and brother when he got a little older in costumes. But we didn't have store-bought costumes. We had costumes that our mother put together for us. And not because we couldn't buy those, but it was just what you did. And people dressed up at the time in things that you wouldn't dress up now as, like a gypsy. That would be considered maybe a racist sort of costume now.
Lots of sheets with eye holes cut in them.
A gypsy, you just get your mom's junk jewelry and pile it on and tie a scarf around your head and hey, you're a gypsy. Same as the ghost, a sheet with the holes cut out. Right. But my mother made fantastic costumes. I one time was, best costume ever, the Jolly Green Giant, because frozen food like Jolly Green Giant stuff and stuff in cans was quite big in the 70s when all the convenience foods, which are bad for you, started coming out. And so what she did was, I don't know how old I was. I'm going to guess 7. Painted my exposed skin, face, hands and arms and neck green with some kind of paint. And then she made out of felt a kind of dress in which she cut out and individually decorated leaves all over me. So it was like a one-shouldered tunic-y thing, and then something around my head in green. And then I had green tights on and green shoes. So I literally was the Jolly Green Giant, although I, wasn't very tall at all at that time. But fantastic costume.
Nice.
And I remember it well. And I remember all the candy that we had, these plastic Halloween pumpkins, which is what we'd use to have the treats be put in. We'd come home, and my sister and I, or my sister and brother and I, we'd dump these out on the floor and go through and, trade what we didn't like. And we had candy for days. And it's amazing that we didn't get tooth decay. I mean, at all. I never had a cavity when I was a child. I never had tooth problems. I still don't have tooth problems. But, you think kids would, what I'm trying to say is kids are resilient. Kids are resilient even against things like Disney and all the programming in it.
Sure.
That's why I think we need to be a bit more resilient ourselves as adults when we see things like this costume I'm wearing, not to just freak the heck out and run for the hills, because I hate the expression, it is what it is. But, sometimes it is what it is. It's all in good fun.
Yeah. You still going to the Coven meeting tonight?
I'll see you there.
All right. Just checking.
Well, no, Maleficent wasn't a witch. She was a fairy.
I just saying, if you don't get there early enough, you miss like the first sacrifice.
Well, the real Maleficent character, played by Angelina Jolie, they glued on some kind of fake cheekbones. They also had fake teeth in the very side that were kind of weirdly multi-leveled.
Right.
And then she had something on her nose to make it a little bit more prominent and pointed. But of course I did what I did with just makeup. And it's actually a very easy costume to do. So, and it was fun. And it's fun to dress up in a costume as an adult. I'm not going out to a party and getting drunk. It's not that kind of thing. I'm doing it for fun with you, Mark, to do Flatoween number 2, and to enjoy it with those who are in the live chat, who have those fond memories of childhood, back when things were, we were being programmed, but it was far more of an innocent time.
I agree.
No matter if your childhood was in the 90s, anything's more innocent than today.
So I have to mention, by the way, that this is the second to the last time that anyone's going to see the glowy hat. And right now it's actually plugged into the USB port in the computer because...
And let's hear the crowd roar. Yay!
That would be Patricia and all the voices in her head yelling yay.
No, everyone does really love it. And I love giving you a hard time.
No. It's okay. No, I mean, I'm sure I'll get a new hat soon for whatever I'm doing. But this hat is going to be given away to a lucky listener in Denver, Colorado.
Cool.
So I'll be giving this away with the charger.
Well, you know who's asked for it already, maybe months ago? Suzette Ann, who is in our live chat and has been to many events, and you've met her before. So if we see Suzette Ann, that's who gets it first. She gets first dibs.
Is it Suzette is she the one that was?
She's the one.
That was shoulder tapped for this?
Yeah, well, she asked for it quite a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
But then, maybe she doesn't want it now. So maybe she is in the live chat, but she might not be here at this very moment. So
is she attending the conference?
That I don't know. I think she is, though.
All right. Well, you got to attend in person together.
Right. Oh, she says I won't be in Denver. Okay. So
That's
it's
right.
a free for all.
Right. No. I thought there was a young person that also was looking for it. Was I wrong about that?
That I don't remember. Or do I? I don't know.
I'm thinking Mennonite.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Maybe.
There are so many people in the live chat saying they want it. So you know what? People do love it.
All right. I tell you what, we'll work on that, but you got to come to the conference. Plain and simple.
Okay. All right.
Got to be there. But I will be. This will be in my bag. I'm not going to be wearing it for obvious reasons because the press, basically whoever puts on the hat, it's like a magic ring or a magic sword. The press are going to descend upon you.
Yeah, and then they're going to, put you on TV and play some like weird clown music in the background.
Potentially. Although
and
I think
say disc flying in space and all those other lovely things that we hate.
I think Chris Pontius will probably distract from that though, because if he's bringing in a van that's literally covered every inch of it in LED lights, that's going to be tough to look at.
It's
I think
going to
so.
be cool. And you know what? If there's no permit, it's funny when Robbie was talking about there's no permit to bring a rocket inside a building. Of course there isn't. That opportunity or situation has never before come up.
You know what? I would have, you know me, I'd bent the rules a few times in my life, and I would have bent the rules and said it wasn't a rocket. I would have said it was a
sculpture.
Yeah, sculpture, a metal piece of sculpture. It's not a working rocket.
Interesting.
Because the second you say rocket, everyone's thinking, oh, we got to call the ATF. Oh, you know, what sort of fuel? It's a steam powered rocket that, you know, that's not functional at the time. But whatever, they'll deal with it. Not my
Does
problem.
anybody remember? It was, I believe, earlier this year. Or was it last year? When did Mad Mike first start talking about launching?
When was it announced?
Yes, when he was going to launch.
End of last year.
Okay, end of last year. And I don't know, you probably remember when I contacted him and talked to him on the phone a couple of times and was going to do an interview. And I kept telling everybody, I'm going to be interviewing him. I'm going to be interviewing him.
Right.
We ended up talking on the phone twice, and then he was to call back the next day because he doesn't have an internet connection, as far as I know, or a reliable one. And he has a phone, and we were trying to figure out how he was going to download Google Hangouts and how he was going to do it and blah, blah. Anyway, it ended up not working out. And then what happened was, I think that Mad Mike got, you know how somebody can whisper things in your ear about other people and turn your head, change your mind about people and situations and make you believe things that aren't true? I think that happened with Mad Mike, and he felt left out in the cold because nobody was contacting him, even though you and I have talked about Mad Mike many times on this show, and we followed his adventures. We've been critical only of the fact that we didn't want him to, especially me, I didn't want him to die. That's the only thing about the rocket launch that I didn't approve of. I didn't also like the fact that many people, not Mad Mike, of course, but many people, not any of us here, but in the media, were saying it was proving flat Earth. I hated that aspect of it, but I can't control what the media says. Obviously, none of us can, or they'd stop with the disc floating in space and all the other garbage. So anyway, Mad Mike, I think, felt a little bit left out. And so when you feel left out, you might turn on people who you feel are leaving you out, even if they're not.
I am glad that he is with us rather than against us. I'm glad that he's going to be in the building, and I am sure there will be no shortage of media who is going to want to talk to this guy. Yeah. As long as he's wearing the jumpsuit and he's got the rocket parked outside, it's like, yeah, follow me 50 yards and we'll do a segment. So I imagine he's going to be moving back and forth quite a bit.
Yes, indeed. So. Well, I want to say hi to Markovsky, and hey, Markovsky says that it got flat Earth in the media, so no loss. Exactly.
Three waves of it.
Yes, indeed.
Because the mission was scrubbed twice, and then he finally did it.
Maybe we're going to have a cage match with Mad Mike versus Roland Reddy. It's a suggestion from Bob from Glowbusters. Actually, now they're friends, and they're kind of on the same team. Hashtag same team.
Hashtag same team.
Want to say hi to Flat Earth Vegans. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Manuel Aviles, hello. Josh from Oregon, hello. Glenn Parent, hi. Irk Childs, glad to have you here. Irk says Mike will be the one picking up chicks. Probably, because of his Tosh. What's it, Tosh 1.0?
Why? How do you not?
I don't remember.
Okay. I know you don't watch
Tosh
the show.
5.7.
Oh, you're killing me.
And a half.
No, okay, look, I am a Tosh fan. I'm a Daniel Tosh fan. So it is Tosh.0. He basically built his. He was a stand-up comedian and a good one, solid one. But he built his fame on basically a show on Comedy Central that centered around him and his producers hand-picking and making fun of YouTube videos. 10 years he's been doing that. Mm-hmm. And oh my God, talk about a never-ending stream. You know, people do the dumbest stuff on YouTube. And he's done he's done Flat Earth twice now, and they were not small segments. The first one was where, you know, he had one of the few instances where we actually saw Tiger Dan, may he rest in peace, and the second one where he actually brought Mad Mike into the studio.
Yes, and Mad Mike in the studio at that time talked about picking up chicks, and so that therefore going back to the conference. Going back to the comment.
The man did not win any points with the female community with some of the stuff he was saying. And was it offensive? No, but it was Oh my God.
It was juvenile, but funny.
Yeah, it was like listening to it was like listening to a high schooler. No offense here. Give his dating tips, how to pick up chicks, man. It was kind of like a bad version of Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused.
It was like, I went to the bar, picked up one chick and brought her home, and then when I was done, I went back and got another one.
Yeah,
That's
I'd never
what it
heard
was.
that strategy where you go early. So you like early, pick up somebody right away, and then you can go back for a second round.
Ew.
It's like, wow.
But I think Mad Mike was halfway joking, and it doesn't really.
No.
You think he was
He
serious?
wasn't joking. No, that and the Sharpie where he would write something on their backs when they were asleep.
Yeah, I
Come
tried to block
on.
all that out. I tried to block it out.
Oh no, that was gold for Daniel. Yeah.
Oh well, everyone's got their own view on things, and he's
The
kind of.
point
really
is,
coy.
well, let's just get this out there right now. If Mad Mike buys you a drink at the conference,
Look out for Rohypnol in it.
you've been
Joking.
warned. All right, fair warning. Don't.
No,
come to us
it's not
later
going to happen.
and
Mad
say-
Mike is probably a really cool, nice guy. That's just the way he jokes around. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm waiting for somebody to come up to me. It's like, he autographed my back when I was sleeping. It's like, yeah.
Well, anyway, hi to Karen B, who's joined the chat. We were just talking about you and how you're going to be speaking on the first day of the conference. Hello to Musicians for Truth and Rob Morrill. Wow, it's weird. I was trying to scroll and it didn't work.
I will be there in the front row watching Karen B's session.
Of course you will.
I will.
I know you will. Bling Bling, the BS of the ISS, is here as well. She says, excited for the conference. I am super excited to hug you and everyone. My arms are going to get hurt and tired from all the hugging. Hello to Nicole Cote. Hello.
Nicole Cote's in here?
Yes, she is.
Oh, that's awfully nice.
We love Nicole.
Her hair is like an ocean. Yeah.
She has cute glasses that are very endearing and make her seem at once vulnerable, smart, and sexy. That's what I've got to say about her.
And her hair is as black as your costume and heart.
Yeah, well, Hi to Nordy K. Knudsen. Hello. And to Dank. And Richard is here too. Hi. Justin Brunk is here, who says, so many trick-or-treaters at my house hearing the FEAOHP broadcast. I love it. Hey, hello, trick-or-treaters. Take 2 pieces of candy. They're small. Hi to Chris Topher. Chris says, I think Mad Mike broke the 1/4 mile drag racing record, certainly in a steam-powered vehicle. Interesting. David Romero is here too. And Martin Leakey is here. Martin doing awesome work on his channel. As always, go check it out if you haven't already. Josh from Oregon. Hello. Who else is in here? Did I already say Flat Accord Music? Maybe I didn't. But Flat Accord Music isn't going to be doing Halloween party stuff or trick-or-treat candy handing out stuff. He says, I'm going to see Morrissey in Ventura tonight. He needs to think of a costume. I am so jealous that you're going to see Morrissey in Ventura. Oh, well, that's fine.
You are jealous. You actually would love to see him on Halloween night.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Not that he has anything to do with Halloween, but I'd see him any night. And I've seen him many, many times. But yeah, definitely.
Have you ever gone backstage?
No, but I did.
How does that not happen?
I don't know. I'm not a fan person, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Anybody that I've met that's a famous person, I've met as a friend, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Not as I'm going to pose next to this person who just can't wait for me to leave so another person can stand next to him and pretend that they know him or her.
See, I don't think that way about anybody that takes pictures with me. I love each and every one of them.
You know what I mean? I'm not a fangirl.
So you've never walked up, you've never even shaken his hand?
No, I haven't. But
after all these years.
No, but I did at one of the last concerts that I went to see him. It might have been one that was in Dallas. Anyway, I can't remember which one it was, but I yelled out in a dead time because he does a lot of audience patter between songs that's quite long, where he actually talks to the audience and tells a little story or something about his day earlier in that city. And he was talking about something, and he seemed to have resolved into his point. And I yelled out, "The earth is flat," really, really loud.
Nice.
So
you know how this will probably play out is that all of a sudden you'll become Flat Earth famous, and he will seek you out because he'll hear it's like, oh yeah, by the way, Patricia Steere, she's a fan.
That's funny.
Seriously, I think it could happen.
You know, Morrissey is very aware of a lot of things that are wrong with society, for sure. He is a truth seeker. Sometimes he's on the wrong end of a lot of things because I still think he believes that politics can do something and change things.
Right.
And again, maybe you can, and maybe I'm looking at it wrong. But, you know, he's definitely more awake than some musicians,
Right.
but not all. David Romero says his favorite day is Groundhog Day, his favorite holiday. I don't know. I like the movie Groundhog Day. So there you go. Hi to Ginger Sugarbush and Cami, who goes by Aisling717 in the live chat. I don't know if I said hi to Bipolar Flat Earth yet, or Peanuts Clark. Hello. Peanuts Clark, going back to you talking about your hat, says, please, no globe hats at the conference. Let's hope not.
Well, you can say that, but look, Nathan Thompson made it into the documentary with that hat.
But nobody can do it again after he did it, I don't think, because it's his thing now.
Yeah, I mean, if he
literally wore
I
a
would think
globe on his head.
And I know
his face.
he hasn't seen his segment in the documentary yet, but when he does, it'd be like, oh yeah, I'm totally bringing that thing wherever I go.
It's his thing.
It's
Hello
his
to
thing.
SUNNZ Soons, I guess, who says, hey, both of you. Thank you for being here. Let me scroll back up. Chris Irvin is here.
Over these compliments about you. Which
Are there compliments about me?
Patricia, that costume really fits you. Watch out, Angelina.
Oh, nice.
That's several times I've seen one of those.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Thank you. Well, you know, I remember when we used to do Q&A when I didn't know how to make live chat work, or maybe there was no live chat option. Can't remember. But back in 2015, I would read a compliment toward myself, because I would just read whatever was on the screen pretty much. And then some haters would say, oh, she always reads compliments about herself. I'm like, ugh. So I appreciate them, but I don't read them because, you know, I don't want to, well, I don't want to bring trouble my way. That's why I wore this.
Exactly. That's awesome. Yep. Funny. Nope. No one's going to jump on that one at all. People are going to feed on this for weeks.
Hello to page 42. And hi, Ace McLeod. Finally got to meet Ace McLeod. Feel like I've known him on Flat Earth forever. Back in the day when he was calling everybody shills. And he didn't really mean it. He was just doing it because it diffuses the, you know, the magnitude of that word and turns it into nothing. Poof.
Have we, by the way, have we talked the Jared piece that came out after last week's show, right? Yeah.
The Jerry piece.
The Jared Yaw piece.
Oh yeah. I said I was going to put a link to it in the live chat, but yeah,
right.
Shane Dawson's brother, Jared Yaw.
What's your what'd you think?
What did I think of it? Well,
I mean, it's the first segment and something much. I mean, he's going to be doing more of these apparently.
Is he? But I mean, it's the full, complete version on Flat Earth.
It is.
I thought it was really good. I always wish more science is gotten into in some of these things.
Right.
Done on mainstream, but this wasn't on mainstream. It was on YouTube. I think it was great. He is very interested in the whole flat earth thing. He says himself, he's not a flat earther. He's flat earth curious, but he might come to the conference. So
I mean, he's got an invite and I hope he does. I think it's completely worthwhile for him. And even though he's probably not watching and doesn't know about said mystery guest.
And he's been nominated for a Flatty Award.
He has been nominated for a Flatty Award. He and Shane for the conspiracy video that they did earlier in the year.
How many hits does that thing have now?
I think it's like at 19 million and change at the moment. No, actually, it might even be 20. Hang on. Let me take a quick look. Check it out. So if I type in Flat Earth, if you want to look this up yourself, you guys can just sort by view count. And it's called Mind Blowing Conspiracy Theories. It is second only behind that Vsauce piece of trash. And yeah, it's at 20.8.
You know, Vsauce appeared in Jared Yaw's
I know
mind travel video that he did, which I said I'll put it in the description box. Yeah, a little quick flash of Vsauce in there.
Yeah.
Grr.
Again, you know, it's the Dawson brothers did in 6 months what Vsauce took 6 years to do.
You know, when I first started in Flat Earth, I would tell personal friends about it, and I got sent that Vsauce video every time. You know, like I'd tell them about it and then they'd go home, they'd look it up and they'd find a debunking video and it was that one and they'd send it to me. I got so sick of getting sent that video.
It's amazing how quickly, though, the community buried it. I mean, it is gone now. I mean, yeah, if you sort by upload date, sure, but most of the people don't use any filter. And if you don't use any filter, you just type in Flat Earth and click it, you know, it comes up at the top of the list right now. your piece in CBS News with Jane Pauley.
Oh yeah, that's cool. All those globes and the disc flying in space. I know I've mentioned that several times today. And the people were criticizing the CBS Sun logo as if anybody who was interviewed during that piece had anything to do with that logo or the globes. We didn't.
You did. I'm going to say it. You did wonderfully in that video. You were interviewed about as well as anybody could, and considering they had the power to edit this any way they saw fit, your part came out in a stellar fashion.
You know, I said lots more than was in there because I was talking to them for about an hour and a half, and they took a small amount, just like when Bob Nodell did a similar thing.
And
Bob did so amazing. So
and Rob Skiba,
and Rob Skiba. I mean, anyway, you know, you have to consider they could use anything that you say, and you have to try to make what you say quick and easy to swallow, easy to digest for people who don't know at all anything about the situation. But I think in the future, I'm going to start if I do any other mainstream things, I'm going to start anything I do with, we don't believe the flat earth is a disc floating in space. I'm just going to say that right off the bat.
Why not? Sure.
Because that way they won't do their own narration over what we do. And then
let's hope.
They
may still do it.
Right. They'll just cut out the part where any of us say that.
Where you said it. And then it's like, well, I mean, remember, it's because of the space conditioning. It is the natural thing to fall into. How many times have we heard it from how many hundreds of people?
Well, maybe
is it a disc in space?
Even we might have thought it when we first stumbled across flat earth. Remember seeing a picture of a ship going over a piece of land and then the water.
Yeah, cosmic waterfall.
That whole thing. And it's when you first start looking into flat earth and you first start thinking about it, you try to picture it, obviously, you know, and you might picture what you already think is true, which is space and planets floating. Right. And then you put like a flat disk in there and you're like, okay, that's how it is. Right. And it obviously sounds dumb, but I think it's funny when mainstream people think, oh, how ridiculous, a disk floating in space. What's the difference between a disc and a ball? It's all ridiculous.
Which is why I included as many enclosed graphics as I could, because the enclosed part, it's the convertible thing that throws people, because it's convertible, well, it's obviously in space. But if it's enclosed, then you just have to answer the question eventually, which is, well, what's outside of it? And I say, not space. Or why would you think there's space? Because they say, what, you know, the question that always comes up, we shouldn't get into nuts and bolts too much, is, are there planets and everything outside of this? And it's like, does there have to be? Why do you think there are planets and stars outside of this? And
well, there are things in the sky that we can observe that we have put names on, as in Mars or Venus.
But I mean, if it's enclosed, you've heard me say this many, many times, which is what's outside of this world? And it's like, I don't know, something really cool, no doubt, but not space. You know, it doesn't have to be space. The people is like, well, but I've been told there's been space. It's not just the globe that's been put in our heads since we were 6 years old. It's also space.
Yes. I remember watching Star Trek, the original series, when it wasn't called the original series. It was just called Star Trek because that's all there was. Watching it with my dad and falling in love with the Vulcan. That was my first crush, actually.
Most
Spock.
people would go for Will Shatner, but
no, he was too much of an overactor.
What are you doing?
But I loved it. And, you know, I love that show. And in fact, in 2015, when we did Flatoween, I dressed up in a science officer Star Trek dress, the blue dress, like Spock's blue shirt, but it was a dress. And I had that from a previous Halloween where I actually went out and wore that. I wasn't about to, you know, bring it back again, but I wore it even if I knew there was no space at that time in 2015, just like I'm wearing this. You know, I don't believe in this as an evil kind of entity at all. So, you know, sometimes you can just look at a thing. What did Freud say? Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. So,
right.
Zulu One is saying everyone bring their best pajamas because there's going to be an after party in the hotel lobby at the Denver conference. And Josh from Oregon's like, after party. Oh man, going to be so fun. Pajama party.
After party. It's just never going to stop.
It's a nonstop party.
It's everybody's just going to be so excited because it's
start sleeping now and save up your sleep.
Yeah, it's going to be mostly because of the release. You know, everyone that goes there, for a bunch of people, and you remember this last year, for a bunch of people, it's the first time they've been in a room where the flat earthers outnumber the flat earthers, and they're just so amped up. It's like, I can be myself. I can talk about anything I want, and I'm not going to sleep for 5 days. Yeah. And they
Well, I'm
don't.
going to be there. I'm coming in early and then leaving late. So I'm going to be around if others are around, or people who are Denver residents, we can go hang out. It'll be cool.
Right.
Let's see. Oh, I saw Lucy Lemons did something on Facebook where she showed herself carving a flat earth pumpkin, which is pretty cool. Gosh, I remember the days of carving pumpkins. Well, my dad really would do it. We'd all go out to the pumpkin patch and get a pumpkin. At one point, my parents even grew pumpkins in the backyard. And my mom would make pumpkin seeds in the oven with seasoning and stuff and some oil, I think olive oil. And they were really delicious, and it made the house smell great. And then the carved pumpkin with the candle on the inside, outside. And I don't know. I do miss childhood a lot. Not because it was more of an innocent time, but because I didn't know about all the bad stuff then.
Right.
You heard about, like, well, people could kidnap you, don't take candy from strangers and stuff like that. But all of the things that we know now about, I hate to call them the elites, the powers that should not be, let's say, right. We know about the things that they're doing. It's far worse than anything we were warned about as children. Far, far worse. We don't know the extent of what they do, but we know it's not good, and it's all part of keeping us disassociated from our true purpose and our true meaning here on the flat earth. And we are together rediscovering that true purpose. And one of those true purposes is to be kind to each other, and also to, believe it or not, enjoy life while helping others, of course, but enjoy life. And that's why we're doing the Flatoween show, because it's just fun enjoyment. So,
it's true.
Anyway, what else is going on? Is there anything else that you needed to talk about that we've not mentioned yet that's flat earthy?
No.
So many good videos have been out. We touched on
there's
Mike.
always good videos. Hang on, let me sort the filter by this last week and see if anybody's stuck out. Nathan Oakley's just been cranking them out every day.
Nathan Oakley's awesome.
Of course, the critics, and again, I don't mind the debunkers making videos. They put flat Earth in the title. Metrics just keep growing. You guys keep doing that.
Yeah. Go ahead and make hit pieces on me. Just make sure to put my name in the title. Thank you.
Exactly. Spell mine. It's Sargent.
Steere. Thank you.
A bunch of meetups coming up in different cities. See if there's anything really. I would be. I can't believe we didn't include this right off the bat, which is the tour in the UK that is wrapping up this Saturday.
My gosh, that is crazy.
Man, my apologies to everybody over there that's still up.
John Smith Globly, otherwise known as Harry,
right?
And Roxanne, and all the rest of the people, Trinity, and the rest who have been going around in what they call a caravan, which is kind of like a camper van,
right?
And going around from city to city, town to town, country to country, and making flat Earth known, having real street activism going on,
right?
In that old sort of town crier way, where you go to a very populated area and you start talking about flat Earth, and people, every single time I've seen their videos, are interested. Some of the people laugh, of course, that's the way it is, but many of them, you can see the seeds be planted. You can see it happen, and it doesn't matter. You don't need to wake them up if you're doing this yourself. You don't need to wake people up right that very moment, but if the seed is there, the seed has a very good chance to grow.
I have the promo up on my channel right now, and just so you guys don't miss it, it's called the Globly UK End of Tour Finale. It is going to be November 3rd at Villiers High School in Southall, London. And the people who are involved, of course, are Harry. Hang on, I'm just getting to...
That's what he goes by, John Smith.
Yeah, John Smith Globly.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I'll because the name and the channel are in there. Jason from Jason of the Disbury family.
Yes.
Moving on. Come on.
These are good channels to subscribe to if you haven't already.
Roxanne from Roxanne Glenn, the Globalist Denier.
Yes.
My secret UK crush. Chris and Mark from Chris UK and Flat Earth Pilgrim. Those guys. Terry who has no channel. It's just Terry. He's with a guitar and he sings. I'm looking at the trailer right now. John from John Thor.
Oh, mhm.
And got a couple more left.
Trinity too, I would imagine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Robin, he's coming up next. Robin from Liftin' the Lid.
Oh yeah, Robin from Lifting the Lid, another channel I recommend. I think he was in the live chat earlier.
He's great. Dave from Trinity 4. Man, is that guy got amazing amounts of energy.
Yeah, he's intense and also oftentimes appears without a shirt on.
The man, there's not a lot of shirt happening there.
Exactly.
I mean, no, he's fit. No question. Ruben from Everybody Equals Mind Control Squared.
That's a great channel name.
That's a great channel name.
Yeah.
And that's it. And so, yeah, it's going to be happening November 3rd. You can look it up on the trailer is also on Roxanne's channel and on my channel. It's called Globli UK End of Tour Finale. And, again, you're spending, what was it, 90 days?
Yeah, that's commitment. By the way.
90 days going to 50 towns around the UK.
They also receive lots of hate from the haterade groups saying, oh, they're never going to do it. They're just going to get donations and just keep the money. They're liars.
No, they absolutely
did it.
They absolutely did it. And The Guardian, among other media groups, are going to be meeting up at this school for the big finale. And The Guardian is going to take that as a jumping off point and heading over here. And they are going to, because they're building their own documentary, and they're going to be shooting one of many that's going to be shooting in Denver. So it's going to be one of the first, if not the first, documentary that's going to be international. It's going to combine UK and US.
Cool. Well, so congratulations to the whole John Smith Globalized Tour group, everybody involved. You said you were going to do something and you did it, and you did it well. So, obviously you are men and women of your word, and that's the best thing. That's all you got to do here is
kudos to them.
Exactly.
They did and they recorded so many hours of their activism, and they were just on point. Activism, not in their face, not bullhorning anybody, just because people naturally come up and ask questions anyway. And they did a fantastic job. So great. So happy that they did it.
Yes, indeed. I want to go back into the live chat and say hello to Elaine Chadwick Clanton, and Wise Up is here in the live chat. Hello there, and hello to Felix, fellow Michigander. Nice to see you. Hello to Joe Mama, who's talking about Martin Liebke and saying to Martin, I loved your last video, bro. Can't wait for the Four Sides chat. Like I said earlier, Martin's doing some interesting stuff on his channel. So if you've not subscribed to Flat Earth British, Martin Liebke, you need to do so. Truth Seeking is here too. And Lisa, Je Prefer Flat is here, who harkens back to a comment earlier that was made about there being a lobby pajama party at the hotel.
I'm sure there will be all sorts of weird
things
stuff happening. No question. Well, go ahead. You can rattle off some more, but I want to read the remaining show times for the documentary and announce the ordering of it.
Oh, yeah, sure. Please, you go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Behind the Curve.
Yep.
We've been told that they have found a distributor, so it's not just going to be a film festival thing.
Right. It's already so when you go to behindthecurvefilm.com, there's a big button in the middle of it right now that says pre-order on iTunes. And if you go to it, they're taking pre-orders. It is going to be released officially on, well, right now they say expected. We'll take that as pretty close because it's November 15th, which happens to be the first day of the conference.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I hope I get a hard copy DVD.
I know.
Word for being in that and taking the criticism that we've taken for being
you probably heard me say last night that I am picking up probably 10 to a dozen copies and throwing them at every family member that ever had any doubt about what I was doing. So any cousins, anybody that was in the closet, that's on the fence, they're all getting copies of this thing.
And for those who haven't heard us say this 1 million times,
we don't make a dime of it.
We don't make a dime off it. We agreed to do it, as did everybody in it, thinking that it would be a fair portrayal of the community in 2017. Right. And we didn't think it would be a hit piece. And I still don't think it's a hit piece at all. In fact, it's just one man and his staff's viewpoint. He happens to be a Globe believer of the Flat Earth community. They've done other videos about other communities and other people. They didn't do it to try to destroy flat earth. It's not pro flat earth, but it's not anti flat earth. It kind of shows both sides. It shows the flaws of the flat earth community. And you've got to admit that we do have a lot of infighting. We do have this, we do have that, and no one's perfect. Sometimes experiments do not work. And sometimes people don't get along. And that was all captured in Behind the Curve. We didn't know it was going to be named Behind the Curve. And we didn't know that a lot of science was going to be absent from it. But overall, it's a very entertaining watch. And for those unassuming people out there in the regular world who haven't heard much about flat earth, for them to watch it, they'll think it's just something fun to watch. And then they'll say, wait a minute, halfway through, wait a minute, these people really believe this? And then afterwards, they might look into it. And it's out there. And it's just one more mention of the words flat earth. And for that, I don't see it as a bad thing.
No. I mean, you've seen it, the reaction. You were up with me in Toronto, and I've been to several other screenings, and it always ends up the same way, where people at the end have a ton of questions. Flat earthers are not going to like it very much because, of course, you have scientists and psychologists and even an astronaut in this movie, but you have to have both sides if you're going to show it like this. And we've had a lot of interest. I mean, we've 19 film festivals in 6 countries so far, which is pretty impressive for a movie literally about flat earth. And you guys don't know how hard it is to get into film festivals. The Toronto Festival had 3,000 submissions for hot docs, and they only chose 120, and we were one of them. And that's the same thing with just like the Hot Springs one that I went to. They had 1,200 submissions. They were only showing like 50. And we got into that one. And so anyway, the showings that are left, just in case you guys want to check it out, there are the next ones that are going to be coming up, go figure, are going to be in Denver, Colorado. I know Bob from Globebusters is going to be attending at least one of those. November 3rd at the UA Pavilion, the Denver Film Festival, the filmmaker, at the very least, the director is going to be there for the Q&A after that showing. Sunday the 4th at the Salt Community Theater in Sault Ste. Marie in Ontario.
Oh yes, I think they call it Sault Ste. Marie.
Is it Sault Ste. Marie?
Yeah, I think that's it. Well,
Canadians. It's not a real country anyway. The November 4th also, it's going to be back in Denver at the Denver Film Festival again with Q&A after that one, and then November 6th. So they're doing 3 showings in Denver just before we get there, which will generate even more interest for the conference. And no, there will be no Q&A after the last showing. That's a 4 p.m. showing on the 6th. November 8th, it is going to be in the Netherlands at the In Science Film Festival. That is the Dutch premiere. Is also going to be there. The 10th, same thing. Also on the 10th, it's going to be the big one that you and I have talked about several times in New York, at the Cinepolis Chelsea Theater. And I know that Zulu and CC and DITRH and other people are going to be attending this thing. And
that'll be great.
There is going to be a Q&A after. We do not have confirmation right this second whether or not the Q&A is going to include a flat earther on stage, but we have all the people ready in case the film. I think that's what's going to happen. I think they'll drag one of us up there. I
think that even if it's not arranged that a flat earther is going up for the Q&A, and when the directors and producers and such are assembled on stage and they get a few questions from the audience, I think a very nice flat earther should pipe up from the audience and ask a question and say, I'm a flat earther and ... And then the audience will all swivel their heads and look toward the flat earther.
Yeah.
Then the director, Daniel, and the rest will probably give him a mic. And
I think it'll even be
bring him up on stage, maybe.
I think DITRH is going to come early enough to where he'll see the director and whoever's who's hosting the festival and introduce themselves, and I think they'd be more than happy to bring him up. That's just my thought. Last 4 showings, as far as I know. November 22nd is going to be at the Black Nights Film Festival in Estonia, because we're big in Estonia. Then you guys are probably saying, where's Estonia? I don't know my geography. It's near Greece. Okay, read a book. November 27th, also going to be in Estonia. November 29th, 3 showings. Told you, we're big in Estonia. And then last but not least, December 9th in Guelph, Ontario. Yep, never been there. To Guelph, not to be confused with Gilf, which is actually a thing on the internet, which we're not going to talk about. That's it. That's December 9th. I don't think we're going to be squeezing any more in before the end of the year, but that's a lot. And we were in a whole bunch. I mean, we were in Mexico, US, Canada, Australia, Poland, Estonia, and the Netherlands. So that's pretty impressive.
It is very cool that Flat Earth is.
I mean, that's the first
traveling the plane.
Yeah, and how many are going to be made at the Denver Festival? A bunch, I'm gathering. And remember, like Guardian is working on theirs right now. They're shooting it as we speak. So
more things are going to be happening than we even know about it, as we've discussed. The Dave Murphy interview, I believe, wasn't that in Estonia that was done?
Yes.
Yes.
Was that in Estonia or Macedonia?
No, it was in Macedonia.
I think it was Macedonia, which is
don't know my geography that well.
No, it's all right. You're good.
Yes. Hello to Red Pie 11. Hello, and hello, Anders Ace thank you for being here, and everyone else who's joined the live chat. I think that's it for our show. What do you think?
You know what? We've covered a lot of ground,
and me just being here, I do want to wish Eric Dubé a speedy recovery, because I know by wearing this costume, it's going to give him heart palpitations, sweating, nausea, maybe even fever. So I hope Eric gets well soon.
And you know what? I'm a doctor, and I can assure you that he will recover from this.
Yes, he will. We hope so, because we need him on the Flat Earth.
Karen B says I look like a deranged dentist. Nice.
You're Flat Earth dentist.
And you know what? The remake of Little Shop of Horrors, where Steve Martin was the dentist. I'm a dentist. Yeah. Yes. Where Bill Murray was the masochist patient.
Oh, indeed. Yeah. Well, hey to Matrix Media and Stop in Traffic, who's just joined us a little bit late in the show. And that's pretty much it. I appreciate everyone being here. Please give the video a thumbs up. And we are going to have a secret word that if you would be kind enough to come back after the video has made its way from the live show to YouTube, or if you're just watching it for the very first time on YouTube, not live, put hashtag #FlatAween as a comment in there. Good. So anyway, I wish I had green stuff coming from my hands and I could put a positive curse on things and say something along the lines of, may Flat Earth truth be known to all. Green stuff, smoke.
Yeah, somebody do that in post.
And until we meet again, we'll have one more show this next Wednesday before we head out to Denver and the conference. Right. It's going to be exciting. I hope to see everyone there. Mark, thank you for being here.
I always enjoy spending time with you. Don't turn me into anything unnatural.
I'll think about it. Goodbye, everyone. Keep it flat. Or else.
Oh, George Clooney. Hail Hydra.